Hi there, my name is José María Rincón. I'm a teacher in Spain, and I'm so glad to have you here again. Today we're gonna do something a little bit different. We already know that Canva is a great tool. We know that Canva is great for making presentation, posters, and on and on and on. But what if I told you that inside Canva there's a secret app store just waiting to be discovered? Today we're gonna put our Explorer hats on and we'll dive into Canvas app menu just to dig up some incredible tools that most people don't know exist. We'll see how to create everything from interactive lucky wheels to some Canva AI tools. Just forget the basics. Today's about discovering the tricks that really make a difference, and we'll have your students and other teachers asking, how did you do that? So let's go and discover some secrets. Here we go. In this first part, we'll focus on tools to create images and text that truly capture attention and build our brand as creative teachers. Let's have a look. Okay, when we have our Canva open, we should go to App, and then we should write down Cartoonify over here. This one, we'll select it. So we'll have to choose our file from our computer. Let's say this one. And we can also use the creative mode of just add any kind of extra instructions. And then we click on Cartoonify image. Right, it's going to take a while, but just with a single click, you can upload your selfie and transform into a cartoon avatar. That's perfect. I don't know, for your virtual classroom, for signing off on your worksheets, or just for creating a character to guide your students through our activities. Just a great way to connect with them. Here we go. Isn't that pretty? And what happens if you love toys and you want your children, your kiddos, just have fun with toys? No problem at all. Let's go to the apps and try to find Toy Maker. This one over here. We'll click on that. We can just describe the toy we want to, and let's generate. It's gonna take a few minutes and we'll get the sweetest toy in the world. There you go. Isn't that lovely? Yeah, click on that and now we'll add it to our design. Oh, isn't that pretty? Okay, and now let's go for the 3 tenors: Magic Grab, Magic Edit, and Magic Eraser. Here we go. Let's go for the first one. Let's take an image, this one for example, just me and my kid just in the park, and we're gonna select it. Let's click on edit. Let's try to find Magic Grab. Now let's select, just with a click, with a brush, we can paint that. Let's go for the click. Let's select, for example, this kid. Let's grab it. And automatically, Canva is going to decide the image and all the lines, and just in a few seconds, there you go. Look at this. We can place the kid on the roof. Yeah, that's great. And now let's go for the second, Magic Edit. Let's click on the image. Let's click on Edit. And then we'll try to find Magic Edit. Here it is. Then we can select everything. Let's click on just the baby. Look at this. Yeah, perfect. Well, let's change it into something different. For example, a crocodile. Let's generate it. And as you can see, Canva offers just 4 different options. And I think that this is nice. Oh, pretty, isn't it? And now let's go for the second, Magic Edit. Let's click on the image, let's click on Edit, and then we'll try to find Magic Edit. Here it is. Then we can select everything. Let's click on just the baby. Look at this. Yeah, perfect. Now let's change it into something different. For example, a crocodile. Let's generate it. And as you can see, Canva offers just 4 different options. And I think that this is nice. Oh, pretty, isn't it? Done it. Excellent. And now that we've created such cool designs, let's present them properly, right? So the mockup app places your design onto a real world object, a t-shirt, a laptop, a mug, whatever you can think of. So if your students, for example, just design a logo for a science project, just show it off in a mockup, right? So seeing the work in a real context is an incredible motivation boost. And using mockups in Canva is just a piece of cake. Okay, so let's go for the elements, right? And let's try to find mockups. There it is. And I think that we might find something interesting here. For example, this one. So let's take this one and let's try to find out a photo for this. For example, we can find, yeah, that one with a crocodile. So we'll take it, and that is when magic happens. Yeah, you can just select it and expand it. Yeah. I think my kid is gonna love this. Okay, let's move on. Let's go to those apps that create interactive experiences, right? Just for example, the Lucky Wheel. If you're tired of just naming students and picking up students from the class, let's use the Lucky Wheel. You'll see. Let's go to the app. Let's try to find Lucky Wheel. This one over here, for example, we've got lots of different wheels to choose from, and we can also write down the list of the students we have and just generate a wheel. And just it's kind of magic. You will see the Lucky Wheel. We'll double click in the middle, and voila, we've got a volunteer, the Black Widow. Great. And I was thinking, is that an app for social emotional learning or just for language classes? Yeah, got you covered. Expression changer. Let's see. But using expression changers just as easy as it seems. Let's go for the apps, and then we're gonna find expression changer. There it is. Then we need to select a photo from our folder. So let's choose a file. Let's say this one. And let's say just sad. Not to complicate things a lot. It's gonna take a while. And let's see the difference. And there you go. Let's add it to our design. Really sad. And what happens when you combine Canva and artificial intelligence? Wow, you get magic. Now we are in Canva's home, right? You'll see you've got a button here, Canva AI. Let's click on it. And when we click it, you will find that we've got different huge selection of things to choose from. And one of them is, for example, draft a doc. Draft a doc about what? For example, just to explain K7 graders the water cycle. We can also use this just to specify what kind of document we would like to. But actually, let's leave it over there. Let's see what happens. And just in a few seconds, magic happens. Let's see. There you go. And obviously, you can just use Canva editor just to edit and to add, or just edit your document the way you like it. Look at this. Just apart from these buttons you've got over here, just take a second just to have a look at these enormous selection of different projects and activities to do using artificial intelligence in Canva. Let's say, for example, create students activity. I think is one of the most interesting ones. Let's imagine that I'm a science teacher and I like to work on planets and orbits, right? And bearing in mind the Bloom's taxonomy, I need something that have my students apply their knowledge, right? So let's see what happens. See, Canva has just chosen 3 different things from the storyboard to explore your application, but I think that this is the interesting one. So let's generate it and let's see what happens. So this is what we got. Let's click on that, and as a whiteboard we'll need to zoom in all the different things we can find here, right? So for example, we've got the teacher guide. We have the teacher guide, just this to set up the goals for the class. And also, if we have a look at this on the level, we've got some Canva tips for students. And one of the activities we've been thinking of, applying the Bloom's taxonomy. And well, this gorgeous, simply gorgeous. I love it. And obviously, when you finish, you can assign it to a classroom, just using Google Classroom, for example. If you want to share, you can use this icon, or you can also assign it just using the sharing the link. So your students will get it. And you are not going to believe this. Look, Canva AI lets code using just plain language. You can just tell him just to look all these things. But what happens if I have an idea? Just for example, I was thinking of creating a kind of Space Invaders game just to practice irregular verbs. Let's see. That's my prompt. And I will start just designing all the coding I don't know anything about. And that's the end of the journey through Canva's secret apps. Today we've seen that Canva is so much more than just pretty templates. It's a powerful toolbox full of possibilities if we just dare to explore the apps tab. We've learned to create avatars, make adaptation to our designs, gamify the classroom with a spinner, and create unique activities using AI. My advice is quite simple. Just be curious. The next time you have 5 minutes, go into Canva's app menu and just try one of them you don't recognize. So thanks for your time and happy creating.